Hey everyone, my name is Natalie from This and Nat, or All of This and Nat over on Instagram. I'm a wife and dog mom living just outside of Dallas, Texas. I am so excited to share my first organization video with you. Kitchen organization can be one of those things that is so overwhelming. So today I'm encouraging you to take 30 minutes and just focus on one cabinet. Empty it out, purge a few things, and tidily put things away. You'll be inspired at the difference a quick overhaul can make. So not too long ago, I spent a little bit of time, just about 30 minutes, organizing this cabinet. Now it looks so great, it's so easy to access, and I'm hoping to do the same with another cabinet today. Here's the one that needs an extreme makeover. It is overcrowded, it is cluttered, things need to go, there's just too many different kinds of things in here. So I can't wait to tackle this with you today. I feel like every good clean starts with the hair up. This means it's time to get down to business. The timer is on, and there is no time to waste. I wanted to start with a clean, clear surface before I pulled everything out of the cabinets. I'm spraying down the countertops with my favorite granite cleaner, water, rubbing alcohol, and essential oils just to give it a nice scent. Take a good look at the before because it is about to change. I truly believe that it's easier to organize a space with a fresh start. So I'm pulling everything out and placing it on the counter with its friends. I understand that this might not be manageable for everybody. So if this is not a good method for you, just go into a cabinet and look for 3 things that you have that are identical. Do you need all 3? Make a quick decision to donate duplicates whenever you notice them. Wow. This is quite a lot of stuff. So what I'm about to do is go through each thing by category, things that I only have one of, like I have one metal square see, you're gonna think I don't know what things are called, I'm just blanking. But I will obviously keep that, or like keep the one glass like loaf pan that I have. But things that I really don't need are that many metal bowls. Just stuff like that. So I'm just gonna start going through things here in just a second. But first, I wanna kind of I have an empty space. I want to make it work for me. Not everything that came out is going back in. So I have to think about really hard what I want this to be. Do I just want it to be like for baking, or do I wanna continue to keep all of my storage containers under here? So that's what I'm gonna think about real quick. Okay, so here's what I've decided. So the deal is that whatever I put on these shelves is pretty easy to get to. Whatever I put in front is easy to get to, but whatever goes behind is much harder to get to. So things that I use a lot need to go on the top or in the front, but there's not a lot of space here for all of that stuff. So what's going to happen with this stuff is these are actually going to get a new home. This is where I store leftovers mostly. So they are gonna get a new home because those are the things I'm getting out like every single day, and I need them actually up high and easier to get to. Everything else is we're gonna try to fit back into this cabinet. Even though we're adding some new things, I'm gonna get rid of some things or at least rehome them. And then I will deal with those Tupperware containers at another time, because right now it's just about making this cabinet functional. I went through my kitchen items one category at a time. When I had all of my bowls out at once, my plastic ones, glass ones, metal bowls, I was able to see that we had way more than we actually used. For cooking and baking, I mostly use glass. Plastic we use when the glass ones are dirty, and I really don't use the metal ones at all. but my husband, Kent, does. So I decided to pare it down, so we just had one metal bowl in each style and each size. And of course, I checked with him before donating the excess bowls. We also had so many 9x13 casserole dishes. Does anyone else have the same problem? I mean, we only have one oven. How could we possibly use 7 casserole dishes at one time? I knew I wanted to keep the ones with the lids and some of the special ones, so I literally tested which ones would be best by picking them up with oven mitts. The ones with the smallest handles that are at the greatest risk of being dropped had to go. Then I began the task of putting all of my sorted items back into the cabinet in the most functional way. Now, function is all relative, so you have to figure out what works best for you. Don't be afraid to try several rearrangements. Nothing is permanent. If a week goes by and the way you've placed something just isn't working, you're always free to change it. Okay, so here is the end result. And over here is what I am getting rid of. So a few things, but not quite a lot. So let me just kind of show you what I did. Obviously, not as much stuff went back as that came out. It's gonna go in other places. But basically I kept anything that I only had one of, like a glass loaf pan, but I do like to bake bread, so I kept several of those. Anything you actually use a lot, you should keep as many as you need. We have a ridiculous amount of bowls. Glass are my favorite. I'm so sad because I accidentally broke my smallest one. So this is actually a like a Tupperware container, but it doesn't have a lid, so it gets to live in here. So these are the ones I use all the time. That's why they're in the front. And the other ones are up here. I would actually get rid of all of our metal except for one, because I usually eat popcorn out of it, but I do not cook in these. My husband likes them. I prefer glass, or after that, plastic. So for me, you can't have enough big bowls, but I would probably get rid of the rest of them, if not for my husband, but he likes them. So I decided to keep just 2 9x13 pans that are glass that I don't have lids for. I actually have 3 with lids, which I will use to freeze meals. You can see 2 of them are sitting back there. One is very special and has our name engraved on the bottom. I will never get rid of that one. And another one goes in a pack. And then I also kept 1 white dish. And then I have 1 metal square pan and 2 glass square pans, because I actually do use those often too. Those are all kind of pushed in the back, so when I freeze stuff, those will be gone and those can sit down on the very bottom. And then these glass ones, I don't really know. I'm kind of iffy on those because they're a weird shape. They're rectangular but small. They have glass lids, which is pretty nice. I do use them sometime, but if I find that I'm not using them enough, those will be the first thing in here to go. So that is how the cabinet ended up. I think it's going to be so much easier. I did play a whole lot with how things will stack together so that it makes the most sense. But that is done. So nice. I did go through this Tupperware, even though it's not going back into that shelf, and I pared a couple of things down. I have an idea where that's going to go, but it's going to require some kitchen shuffling, which I'm going to do on another day. These things were not in the cabinet in the first place. They were actually up high, and I'm going to actually put them up high again, probably because these are not things that I use every day. I've got a metal, ceramic, and 2 glass pie pans that are 2 different sizes, 9 and 9.5 inches. I've made a pie one time in my life, so it was pretty easy for me over here in the get rid of pile to get rid of some pie pans. But if you make pies all the time, you should keep all the ones that you use. Also a bundt pan, which I have never used, but I believe somebody gave it to us, so if I ever do make a bundt cake one day, there you go. So lastly, I have this pile of things I'm getting rid of, like this plastic. You might have seen me get some plastic stuff out. That's where a little bit of those containers went. They don't fit to anything. This one is like not my favorite, so I got rid of it. Like I said, some pie tins, a couple metal bowls that didn't like go together in a set. These we never ever use. The 1 9x13 that I felt was the one that was most at risk for me dropping, and then another white These we didn't have until like a few days ago, and so I just felt like keeping one was going to be enough for us. I hope this video gave you a little inspiration to tackle one space in your home this weekend. Challenge yourself to beat the clock by setting a timer. Now on Monday, I'm going to share with you how I finished out the kitchen by reorganizing the rest of the cabinets and refreshing the pantry. I can't wait to see you then.